You've probably used ginger in your kitchen 100 times, in your tea, your cooking, maybe even for a sore throat. But what if I told you this little root could do so much more than spice up your meals? I'm talking about a plant that can heal your soil, multiply itself endlessly, and even help your garden fight off pests naturally, all while saving you money. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, by the end of this video, you'll see ginger in a way you never have before. Hey green family, welcome back to the garden. And if this is your first time here, I'm so glad you stopped by. This is where we grow smarter, not harder, and find ways to make our gardens thrive without breaking the bank. So, whether you've got a big backyard or just a few pots on your balcony, you're in the right place. Before we dig into today's secret, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our green family because every week, we uncover the kind of garden wisdom that saves you money, grows your confidence, and keeps your plants happy all year round. All right, let's get into the magic of ginger and why it's so much more than just a kitchen ingredient. For the longest time, ginger was nothing more than a spice to me. A kitchen extra. I'd slice it into hot water when I felt a cold coming on, or toss a bit into stew when I wanted a sharper flavor. It was always something I used, never something I understood. But that changed one rainy afternoon. I just finished cooking and found this leftover piece of ginger, dry, wrinkled, almost lifeless. You know that kind of piece you normally throw straight into the bin? Well, for some reason, I didn't. I was standing outside in the garden, holding that sad little root, when I noticed an empty container by the fence. The soil was rough, half-dry, and full of old roots from a plant I'd pulled out weeks earlier. Something in me said, why not? I pushed that ginger into the soil, didn't even bury it properly, just enough to hide it from sight. I gave it a little water and walked away, not expecting a thing. Weeks turned into months. I forgot it was even there. Then one morning, while cleaning up that corner, I decided to empty the pot and reuse the soil. When I tipped it over, my breath literally caught. That one little piece had multiplied into a beautiful cluster of golden roots, thick, shiny, and healthy. Above it, there were pale green shoots curling toward the light. Right then, something clicked. I realized I'd been underestimating one of the most powerful plants sitting in my kitchen all along. Ginger isn't just food, it's a quiet worker. It hides its effort underground, transforming one small piece into many while improving the soil around it. That moment changed how I thought about gardening. It reminded me that the most rewarding plants aren't always the flashy ones. Sometimes they're the humble ones that just keep giving. But here's the thing. Most gardeners never get to see that side of ginger. They plant it the wrong way, water it too much, harvest it too early, or store it in a way that kills its strength before it ever gets a chance to grow again. And because of that, they miss out on what could easily become one of the easiest, most self-sustaining crops in their garden. So before we jump into everything ginger can do, from multiplying itself to protecting other plants, let's talk about the mistakes that keep it from reaching its full potential and what you should be doing instead. You know, when people tell me their ginger never grows well, I always smile a little, not because it's funny, but because I was in that exact same boat. I remember thinking, maybe ginger just doesn't like my soil. But the truth was, I was the problem, not the soil. Now let's see if you've made any of these mistakes too. And if you have, that's fine. You're not alone. In fact, go ahead and drop a comment below and tell me, are you currently growing ginger? Or have you tried before and it just didn't work out? I love reading your stories. It helps me know what to show you next. All right, let's get into it. Mistake number 1. Planting ginger in soggy or compact soil. Ginger doesn't like its feet sitting in water. The roots rot fast when there's no air space underground. If your soil feels heavy or sticky when wet, it's holding too much moisture. What to do instead? Use loose, well-drained soil, something that feels soft between your fingers. Mix a bit of compost with coarse sand or coconut husk if you can. Think of it like preparing a soft bed for the roots to stretch and grow comfortably. Mistake number 2. Planting the wrong side up. It sounds simple, but it's one of the biggest reasons ginger fails to sprout. Those small, bumpy eyes on your ginger piece, that's where new shoots come from. Always plant with those eyes facing upward. If you bury them upside down, the shoots struggle to find light and may never make it to the surface. Mistake number 3. Crowding your ginger. A lot of gardeners try to fit too many pieces in one pot or bed, thinking they'll get more harvest that way. But ginger loves its space. When it's crowded, the roots twist and fight for nutrients. You end up with tiny, weak harvests instead of big, firm rhizomes. So give each piece about 6 to 8 inches of breathing room. I promise, fewer pieces planted right will always outgrow a cramped pot full of struggling roots. Mistake number 4. Harvesting too early. Ginger takes patience. You can't rush it. Many people start digging after a few months because they see the leaves turn green and assume it's ready. But those early harvests give you baby ginger, tender, yes, but small and mild. If you want that bold, rich aroma and stronger flavor, you have to wait until about 8 to 10 months after planting. The sign to look for is when the leaves begin to yellow and dry at the base. That's nature's way of saying, I'm ready. Mistake number 5, poor storage. This one hurts, because I've lost good ginger to bad storage before. A lot of folks wash their harvest and seal it straight in a plastic bag, thinking it'll stay fresh. But that traps moisture, and within weeks it starts to mold. Instead, brush off the dirt gently, let it air dry in a shaded, breezy spot for a few hours, then store it in a basket or paper bag, somewhere cool and dry. If you live somewhere humid, burying your ginger in dry sand works wonders. Now I'm curious, where are you watching this from? Different climates change how ginger behaves, and I love hearing from gardeners all around. Some of you are in warm, tropical places where ginger thrives almost year-round, while others are pushing the limits in cooler regions and still getting amazing results. Wherever you are, the key lesson here is simple. Ginger rewards patience and care. Once you give it the right conditions, it takes care of itself. Now that we know what not to do, let's talk about how to do it right. How to grow ginger the smart, sustainable way that keeps your garden productive and your wallet happy. Because here's the thing. Once you understand how ginger grows, you'll realize it's one of the few plants that actually rewards you more each year, without you spending another naira, dollar, or dime. Let's start from the very beginning. When you're choosing ginger to plant, don't go for the shriveled leftovers. Pick healthy, firm pieces, ones with smooth skin and visible eyes or buds. Each of those eyes is a promise. Every single one can turn into a brand new plant if you treat it right. Now here's a trick most people don't know. Before planting, let your ginger wake up. Place your pieces somewhere bright but not sunny, maybe near a window or on a shaded porch, for about a week or two. You'll notice tiny green shoots starting to appear. That's when you know it's ready to go into the soil. When planting, use wide containers or beds, because ginger grows sideways, not deep down. Fill them with light, well-drained soil, not heavy clay. Press each piece into the soil with the eyes facing up, about 2 inches deep. Then, cover lightly and water gently. Ginger loves steady moisture, but not soggy feet. Think of it like a sponge, damp, not dripping. Water only when the top layer of soil starts to dry out. If you're growing in pots, make sure there are drainage holes. And don't rush it. Ginger doesn't grow fast. It develops quietly under the surface, layer by layer, day by day. Around the 2nd or 3rd month, you'll see tall, graceful leaves reaching upward. That's when you can start feeding it with compost tea or a light organic fertilizer once a month. Now, let's talk about multiplying your ginger. This is where the magic really begins. Ginger is a natural multiplier. You plant one piece, it gives you several. Here's how to make that work in your favor. When harvest time comes, gently dig around your plants with your hands or a small trowel. Don't yank, the roots are tender. You'll notice that one piece has turned into a full cluster of new rhizomes. That's your gold mine right there. Now listen carefully, because this part is the difference between a one-time harvest and a never-ending supply. Don't use all of it. Don't eat all your success. Select the healthiest, fattest pieces, the ones that look plump and unbroken, and keep them aside. Those are your next generation of plants. The rest you can use in the kitchen, share, or store. By doing this, you create a self-sustaining ginger cycle. You plant once, and from then on, your own harvest becomes your seed stock. You'll never have to buy ginger for planting again. And if you want your ginger patch to expand faster, replant double what you harvested the first time. That's how you go from one pot to a full bed, or from a single row to a mini ginger field in just a few seasons. Now, I'm curious. If you've grown ginger before, how big was your harvest? Was it small, or did you ever get those full, thick clusters? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing how other gardeners are doing with this plant. Because when you finally pull up a big, healthy cluster of your own ginger, not store-bought, not treated, not overpriced, it hits differently. You realize your little piece of soil can feed you, heal you, and keep multiplying season after season. Now, let's talk about the part every gardener looks forward to, the harvest. If you've been patient with your ginger, cared for it through the months, this is where the magic shows itself. You'll know your ginger is ready when the leaves start to yellow and slowly dry from the bottom up. That's your cue. The plant is sending all its energy back into the roots. That's when the real treasure is waiting underground. When it's time, don't rush or pull. Ginger roots are delicate, and one hard tug can snap off half your harvest. Instead, use your hands or a small garden fork to gently loosen the soil around the base. Once you feel it lift easily, pull the entire cluster out together. And here's something that always makes me smile. That earthy, peppery smell that hits the moment fresh ginger meets air. It's like the soil reminding you how alive it really is. Now, before you get too excited and start washing everything right away, hold on a bit. Don't wash your ginger immediately after harvest. That extra moisture can shorten its storage life. Instead, shake off the loose soil gently and lay the roots out on a tray or a mat in a shaded, airy spot. Let them dry naturally for a day or two. This step toughens the skin slightly and helps them keep longer. After that, you can brush off the remaining dirt and decide how you want to store them. If you plan to use your ginger soon, you can keep it in a basket or paper bag in a cool, dry place. But if you want to store it for months, bury it in dry sand or sawdust. It stays fresh and firm without sprouting or molding. Now, let's talk about the most important part, replanting from your own harvest. This is how you break free from buying ginger every season. Pick the fattest, healthiest roots, firm to the touch, no soft spots, no bruising. Cut them into pieces, making sure each has at least one eye or bud. Then, let those cut surfaces heal. Just leave them in a cool, shaded spot for about 24 to 48 hours. That tiny bit of drying helps seal the ends, preventing rot when you plant them again. When it's planting time, you already know the drill: soft soil, gentle watering, patience. But here's something I want you to always remember. Ginger doesn't like sudden changes. If you move it from bright sunlight to deep shade too quickly, it slows down. If you soak it one week and ignore it the next, it struggles. Keep it steady. Ginger thrives on consistency, just like any healthy routine. And one small but important precaution: always rotate where you plant it. Don't grow ginger in the exact same spot year after year. It helps prevent soil fatigue and disease buildup. Now, let me ask you this. What do you usually do after harvesting your ginger? Do you store it, dry it, or use it right away? Let me know in the comments. Your methods might just help another gardener watching this. Because the beauty of the Green Family community is that we're learning from each other, one harvest at a time. By now, you've probably realized ginger isn't just a spice, it's a teacher. It teaches patience, balance, and reward. But here's the part that most gardeners don't know. Ginger doesn't just benefit you, it benefits your garden too. Let's start with something simple: soil health. Every time ginger grows, it quietly improves the soil around it. The natural compounds in its roots help discourage harmful fungi and soil-borne diseases. So, if you've ever dealt with stubborn soil issues, try growing a bit of ginger there next season. It's like nature's gentle reset button. Then there's pest control. I noticed something interesting after a few seasons of growing ginger near my peppers and tomatoes. I used to deal with small whiteflies and gnats. Not too bad, but enough to annoy me. After I planted ginger nearby, they started disappearing. Turns out, the oils in ginger's roots naturally repel a few common garden pests. You won't see them running away, but the plants around it will quietly thank you. And of course, we can't forget the health benefits for us, because ginger isn't just healing for the soil, it's healing for the body too. A small slice of fresh ginger tea can ease digestion, calm nausea, and warm you from the inside out on a cool evening. The same plant that multiplies in your garden can strengthen your immune system and soothe inflammation, straight from the soil to your cup. When you start growing ginger yourself, something changes in how you see your food. You stop thinking of it as something you buy and start seeing it as something you build. Each piece you plant carries the memory of your effort, the watering, the waiting, the care, and it gives back so much more. And the best part? Ginger adapts. The longer you grow and replant your own ginger, the stronger it becomes, adjusting itself to your soil, your weather, your little corner of the world. That's why your homegrown ginger will always taste different from store-bought. Richer, warmer, more alive. So the next time you hold a piece of ginger in your hand, don't just see a root. See a cycle: food, medicine, soil protector, and future harvest, all wrapped in one humble plant. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed any unexpected benefits from growing ginger in your garden? Maybe your soil got better. Maybe your harvest multiplied faster than you expected, or maybe it just became your favorite plant to care for. Whatever it is, share it in the comments. I love reading your experiences. They inspire not just me, but everyone in our Green Family community. Ginger might look simple, but it's one of the hardest working plants you'll ever grow. It feeds you, heals you, protects your garden, and quietly gives back more than you ever planted. If this video gave you something new to think about, or maybe inspired you to give ginger another try, make sure you subscribe and join our Green Family. Here, we grow smarter, not harder, and we keep finding ways to make gardening easier, cheaper, and more rewarding. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing about ginger that surprised you today? Drop it in the comments below. Your stories always inspire the next video we create together. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and remember, the best gardens are the ones that give more than they take.